What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Pokemon FireRed. Last time, we got our final gym badge and started making our way towards the Pokemon League. And this time, we're going to make our way all the way through the badge check and through the Victory Road. So let's go ahead and get started. You can pass here only if you have the Cascade badge. Oh, that's the Cascade badge. Okay then, please go right ahead. And then you can pass here only if you have the Thunder badge. Oh, that's the Thunder badge. Okay, please go right ahead. And I believe if you go over here, there's actually a berry, a Lepo berry. That's actually super helpful. But while we're going through all these badge checks, there's actually grass on this. I'm going to call it a route. It's a badge check area. But there's more new Pokemon that you can find here. And the first one is Arbok. Arbok is a FireRed exclusive and has a few things going for it over the Ekans that you could find really early in this game. The first thing is it has a 5% chance of holding the Poison Barb item, which increases the damage of any poison type moves, which it being a pure poison type is really nice for it to have. Also, it has Intimidate, which is another thing that Ekans has, but it's just another thing to reiterate that it's great to have Intimidate. But other than that, Ekans and Arbok are really not great Pokemon. Poison's not a good offensive type, and it's just overall a relatively weak Pokemon. But the next Pokemon is Sandslash, which is the Leaf Green counterpart to Arbok. Sandslash, also, similarly to Arbok, has a 5% chance of holding the Soft Sand, which is an incredible item, especially because we just got Earthquake last episode. So Soft Sand will increase the power of that Earthquake, making it even more powerful. With that being said, it also has a great TM list with a bunch of different physical moves, and is overall a better type and type distribution than Arbok is. So I would say that Leaf Green players have the better Pokemon overall. And finally, the last Pokemon that can be found here is Primeape. And I'll be honest, if you wanted to use Primeape, you probably should have caught a Mankey all the way back on Route 22 in the first episode where I first talked about it. Because it's kind of late to get a new party member. Like, it's not impossible, mind you. You could definitely still do it. It's just really difficult. But going over Primeape specifically, it's a decently fast physical attacker. It has a great TM list, learning moves like Iron Tail, weirdly enough, and Brick Break, Earthquake, stuff like that. And it can actually get a few great moves from move tutors, like Rock Slide and Double Edge, which are just really good physical attacks that it can have. Again, it has the same downside that it had before. It's a fighting type in Kanto, meaning it's not super effective on either Poison or Psychics. Psychics being the most powerful type in the game, and Poison being the most plentiful type. So it's kind of hard to recommend it, especially this late in the game. But now that we're here at the end, we can actually pick up another berry, a citrus berry this time, which is very nice to get. And it's the Victory Road Gate towards the Indigo Plateau. So let's go ahead and head inside. So the Victory Road is very interesting. I'm putting on a repel real quick because it's not going to help entirely, and you'll see why in a second. But the Victory Road here is almost entirely strength puzzles, which is not the greatest thing to ever see, mostly because strength takes forever to use. Also, here's why the repels aren't super great right now. I'm super under leveled. The wild Pokemon in here can be up to level, I think, 48, meaning that I'm going to be running into Pokemon while running through here. But back to the strength puzzles, basically what you want to do is you want to push these rocks onto those buttons that you can see on screen. And then they open up the rock pathway right there, so we can get through. Also, I think I'm gonna knock this one out just so I can get a little bit extra experience and a little bit of extra speed EVs, because that's what Golbat gives you. Oh, nice crit. I don't know if it mattered, but nice crit. And we'll just push this. I am so thankful. You can see that the rock thing right here disappeared once the boulder was on it. But I am so thankful that strength does not have to be reapplied every time you run into a wild Pokemon, because that would get really irritating really quickly. But with that being said, there is actually one new Pokemon that you can find here, and that is Machoke. Machoke is actually a pretty decent Pokemon, but it does require a trade to fully evolve it. So that's something to keep in mind if you plan on using Machoke/Machamp. But it has Guts, which is a really great ability and has been a great ability since we had access to Machop in the Rock Tunnel. And it has a great TM list, learning stuff like Earthquake and moves such as that. But its biggest downsides are it's slow. Its speed is 45 base, which is not fast. It's being outsped by basically everything. And if you can't trade to evolve it, it's kind of hard to use. Mostly because there's not a whole ton of things, especially moving forward, that fighting are super effective against. So it makes it more difficult to use than if it was able to evolve into Machamp and get that amazing stat increase that it gets. But with that being said, I think, oh, of course, you have a Machoke to just show it off right here. I don't think Raichu is a good fit for this fight, so we're going over the Terra. Even though this could also be a bad fit for this fight. It shouldn't do too much. That's more than I was hoping for. Can we knock it out in one hit with Fly, please? Thank you, Terra. Does that give me a level? Oh, no, because it's split. And now Machop, which is also going to be an easy knockout with Fly. Luckily, Terra is really fast, and Machop and Machoke are really slow, as I just went over. So they don't have a chance to hit me with super effective moves before I can fly. And I think this last Machoke will be able to let me get a level out of it, which will be nice because it'll make less grinding later. Also, if you didn't see while I was going over Machoke, I did pick up the TM for Dragon Claw, which I'm probably going to teach to Terra because it's just a good coverage move for the dragon types that I have nothing for currently. Takedown, I'm not going to give you takedown because you do not have Rockhead. If you had Rockhead, it would be a little bit better, but not great. Also, I guess I should mention that there's actually not a single trainer fight in this entire place that's required to get through it. You can get through here without fighting a single trainer, which it's pretty funny that it's like, this is the victory road. It's to get you toughened up so you can fight the Elite Four. And then they make every single fight not required. All right, we got another repel on, and we need to find a rock to put on that switch. So we just need to go up here, and it's actually, I believe we need to go past that fighting girl. I forget what the trainer class is called. Dojo girl or something like that. And loop around, because that will allow us to go down here. Oh, wait. I actually have to push that button to open that up. So we need to do the most tedious part of the Victory Road right here. And you'll see why I call it tedious in a second. We just need to use strength on this boulder. And this boulder has to be pushed there and then all the way across this platform, which takes more time than basically anyone that I know would want to spend on pushing a boulder. Call me Prometheus, because I am pushing a rock. Oh, great Pokemon battle. And we just need to push this down here and onto this switch. And that should open up that. Yes, it does. Oh, and TM50 Overheat's actually a good one to get. There's also an item over there that's guarded by a trainer that... You know what? I will fight the trainer. I think I'm just going to cut it out, though. So let's go ahead and fight this trainer real quick. I heard some rumors of a child prodigy. And this item is a max revive. That's actually super helpful going forward. But I don't use items in battle, so I guess it's not super helpful going forward. But we just need to put on another repel. Oh, of course. Right after I put on the repel. Oh, hey, Machoke. We do not need to fight you. And here's the thing. I don't actually know if you can get past these trainers or not. Oh, you can. So yeah, those were the only trainers that I was iffy on if you had to fight them or not. But no, you do not. And welcome to the second most tedious part of this place, where we, again, have to push this boulder all the way across here. You would think that they could just make it a lot easier by making it not have to be pushed this far. Also, these guys can be avoided by just stepping to the right. And then we go down here. And even this guy, which you think would be required, if you go all the way to the bottom, you can just skip him, which I find very funny. And with that, we are out of Victory Road. And if we just go up here, around all of these very badly placed objects, we can go up here to the Indigo Plateau and the Pokemon League. So, I think we're going to end this episode here. So, I hope everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Next time, we take on the Pokemon League. But until then, happy adventuring!